Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum, dear students. This is Dr. Shuguftan Dalib, Professor of Zoology, University of Education. I'm here to teach you the course of Zoogeography and Paleontology. Today we will study the evolution of horse. Merychippus looked like a real horse as we know it today. It lived 18 to 10 million years ago in North America in Middle Miocene. It must have looked like a modern pony with 3.3 feet height. It was not only an effective grazer but also a fast runner due to its long legs. It had wider molars with a higher crown and a hard layer of cement, which were used to grind the hard grasses of the steppe. It stood on one toe. The two smaller ones with little hooves were perhaps needed for sport and probably only touched the ground while the horse was running. Its skull was similar to that of the modern horse. Its jaw was deeper and muzzle became elongated. Brain was larger with larger cerebellum, making it smarter and more agile than the earlier horses. Eyes moved farther back to accommodate the large teeth roots. This is the imaginative picture of Merychippus, and this is the forefoot showing the central one working toe, while the side ones as splint bones. Hipparion appeared in Middle Miocene in North America about 13.5 to 6 million years ago and in late Miocene in Africa and Europe. A complete preserved skeleton has been recovered from North America. It shows an animal as large as a small pony and slender as a gazelle. It was adapted to life on dry prairies. It had 3 toes with small hooves and the side toes did not touch the ground. Pliocene is also known as true equine. Its fossils have been recovered from North America about 15 to 6 million years ago. It looked like the modern horse Equus. Early species still had 3 toes while later ones had remains of the second and fourth toes on the outside of the remaining toes as splint bones. The long and slender legs made it a fleet-footed steppe animal. The neck was long and strong. Molars were strongly curved as opposed to the straight molars of Equus. For a long time, it was assumed to be the ancestor of Equus. Although they are closely related, but on the family tree, this relationship is not accurately presented, and instead, the Dinohippus fits better as the ancestor of Equus. Dinohippus appeared in late Miocene to earliest Pliocene, about 10 to 4.5 million years ago in North America. It is more heavily built. A succession of different species, gradually resembling Equus more and more, has been found. This growing resemblance applies to the molars, legs, and skull. Monodactyly evolved twice, once in Pliohippus and secondly in Dinohippus. Equus, the modern horse, evolved in earliest Pliocene to late Pleistocene in North America about 4.5 million years ago, in early to late Pleistocene in South America, and late Pleistocene in Europe and Africa. It is the genus to which all modern equines, including horses, asses, and zebras, belong. This new form was roughly 4 feet tall and it was extremely successful and had spread from the plains of North America to South America and to all parts of the Old World by the early Pleistocene. Modern horse became widespread from Central Asia to most of Europe. In New World, horses are believed to have become extinct at the end of Pleistocene as part of great megafaunal extinction about 11,000 years ago in America, along with some other big animals like mammoth, woolly rhinoceros, and ground sloth due to warming of the climate. And it brought grasses with higher content of silica, and as a result of which, molars wore off faster. The animals grew less old and could get fewer offspring. Hunting may also have played a role in their extinction. In the old world, horses, zebras, and donkeys did not die out. Around 5,500 years ago, people in Kazakhstan began riding horses for the first time. It was reintroduced to its native continent in the early 16th century with the arrival of Spanish explorers. The taxonomy of the modern horse, however, remains unsettled. This is Yukon horse, Equus lambai, which is an extinct representative of the genus Equus, which survived the ice ages in North America and had shoulder height of 1.3 meters. This is Equus occidentalis, which is also extinct and it looked like a zebra. Now we will summarize all the evolutionary processes. During evolution, the horse got longer legs and longer neck, and the head became longer and slimmer. At first, hind legs were longer than the front legs, and later they were not. The tail of vertebrae is replaced by a tail of only hair. The hindquarters of the horse got lighter, the forequarters became heavier. The body grew stiffer and less flexible. The horse stands increasingly straight on its toes and can run faster and longer and is more and more an animal of the plains. Along with these external phenomena, there will have been internal changes such as increase in the volume of the stomach, the colon, and blind gut. The digestion moved to the posterior. The skulls became bigger, longer, slimmer, and lower. The skull of Eohippus resembles that of a dog, and those of Merychippus and Pliohippus are short and compact and resemble that of a pig. The lower jaw gets stronger. You can see the lower jaw is becoming longer and stronger in each next genus. The eyes move to a more posterior position. You can see the eyes are moving towards posterior position, and lengthening of the diastema. You can see starting from Mesohippus, as the skull is going to be enlarged, jaw is going to be elongated, thus diastema is also going to be elongated. As far as teeth are concerned, they have changed substantially in the course of time. The evolution of high crowned molars among horses is thought to be an adaptation for abrasive diets associated with spread of grasslands. Mesowear trends in horses are reflective of global cooling and associated with vegetation changes. The original omnivorous teeth with lower browsing molars gradually turned into molars of a grazer. Molars became long, more or less cubic, with a flat top with ridges, and they got a hard layer of cement suitable for eating grass containing silica. The incisors became larger and chisel shaped. Teeth of upper and lower jaw became straight. Canines have disappeared or shrunk. Eohippus had three incisors, one canine, four premolars, and three molars on each side of the jaw. This is reduced to three incisors, sometimes a small canine, and three molars per half jaw in Equus. The diastema became longer. From a vegetarian omnivore, it developed into a grass eater. This picture is showing the evolutionary changes in structure and function of teeth. As we have studied that originally the teeth of horse were low crowned with no cement and they were suitable for browsing. And during the course of evolution, it developed high ridges, high crowned, and with high amount of cement, which helped it in grazing. The horse lineage exhibits most extreme digit reduction, resulting in the monodactyl forelimbs of Equus. Hyracotherium at the onset of the equid evolution had four metacarpals. The common subsequent main taxon is Mesohippus, where the digits are reduced to three. Hyracotherium gave rise to numerous tridactyl equids that prevailed from the early Oligocene to Pleistocene. The adaptive radiation of equids were prevalent throughout North America and the Old World, and ultimately, certain tridactyl equids gave rise to modern horse, whose limb is composed of single complete digit and with reduced splint digits. Monodactyly occurred twice within the equid lineages. The first time it occurred in Miocene in Dinohippus, leading to modern horse, and secondly, by convergent evolution in the lineage of Pliohippus and Astrohippus, which is single-toed horse and that are now extinct. The reduction of digits in the horse is accompanied by an increase of overall limb length, therefore increasing the distance of each step. Janis, a famous paleontologist, proposed that monodactyly evolved to facilitate locomotion in the grassland habitat as horses are known grazers. The central third toe grows stronger and firmer. The adjacent toes become shorter and thinner, which help it in fast running. The modern horse has remnants of the second and fourth toe as splint bones on the only remaining toe. They still play an important role in the sport of the joint. The metatarsal and toe bones grew together into a single bone, and the legs and toes became longer and thicker. The position of toes becomes straighter. The horse is finally on its tiptoes. This picture is showing the general evolutionary tree of equidae and changes in the distal forelimb skeletal anatomy. The Phenacodus. It is a primitive pentadactyl species that is close to the origin of the equid lineage, that is Hyracotherium. The equids commence as tetradactyl taxa during the Eocene, represented by the Hyracotherium. Later in Eocene, the equid transitioned to tridactyl, with the oldest widespread taxon being Mesohippus. This is tridactyl. From here, the equid split into two major subfamilies. in the early Oligocene, the Anchitheriini, and the Equidae. Hypohippus is a representative tridactyl anchithere from Miocene, where the smaller side toes contact the ground. Hipparion represents tridactyl equines of the Miocene. This species has shorter side toes that are suspended above the ground. The transition to monodactyl begins in the Middle Miocene. Dinohippus is a monodactyl horse known as Plioplastocene, and it marks the onset of the lineages that will become Equus. Equus is the only surviving genus of the Equidae. All the extinct equids demonstrated aside from the Dinohippus have a median cleft on the terminal edge of the distal phalanx. In this picture, you can see another depiction of the evolution of horse, and you can see the size is going to increase with each new taxa, and along with this the number of digits is going to be reduced in each new taxon. It was initially tetradactyl, then tridactyl, and then monodactyl. This picture is also showing the origin of monodactyly. It is the distal forelimb of the extinct taxa. Here it is its dorsal view. This is Phenacodus, which is a primitive pentadactyl, and it is very close to the origin of equid lineage. This is the distal forelimb of Hyracotherium, which is tetradactyl. Then Mesohippus, where monodactyly has originated, and then it is going to be improved in the next Hypohippus, then Hipparion, and then in Dinohippus. This picture is showing the origin of different species of horse at different time periods in different continents of the world. It originated mainly at North America and spread into other regions of the world at different time periods. This is the pictorial summary of the evolution of horse, showing the major taxa starting from Hyracotherium, Mesohippus, Merychippus, Pliohippus, and Equus. There is increase in the body size from Hyracotherium to Equus. There is also increase in the length of the limb, which is coupled with reduction in number of toes. There is also enlargement of the skull and jaw and increased diastema. Dear students, let's conclude the evolution of horse. In 50 million years of its evolution, the horse became more and more a horse, more and more specialized. It lost general characteristics of mammals like a foot with 5 toes, teeth with incisors, canines, and molars. Its diet became more difficult to digest. The horse specialized its limbs and digestion. This specialization did not go in a straight line, rather, the pedigree is a richly branched with dozens of genera and even more species of leaf and grass eaters, forest and steppe inhabitants, and three and one toed animals. Horses were three toed for most of the time. In the time that horses flourished, some species went on three toes, while others they were more or less reduced. The three toed horses disappeared, and the horses have had one toe only since Merychippus. Here are some references. This was about the evolution of horse. I am sure you have learnt it. Thank you and Allah Hafiz.